Okay, weather evacuation walkthrough for mezzanine manager. So again, we're just going to cover the points that are important if you are assigned to the mezzanine. Starting at row M, which is where I'm standing now, the usher who would during the show be seated at that stool when a weather situation is called, they would stand up and ask folks in patrons in rows M through R to exit out the back of level 4. Some of the ushers who are seated along the back during the show, mezzanine ushers, would start helping the patrons who are in the wheelchair accessible seating. A level 3 usher would be assigned, one on each side, would be assigned to come up and watch the center staircase and make sure no mezzanine patrons go down that way. It's okay if they do, they would end up in the clog exiting from the main floor. It's just faster if they go this way. So this usher here would continue to direct patrons out in case they don't see the sign. They're going to actually exit through the level 4 doors. And then this usher needs to make sure they don't hang out over there because there's glass.
No glass.
And they don't go down the inner staircase. They keep following the sign and go out to the tower.
So this would, right here, this little entryway would be another location for someone to be assigned.
Yes, need to be talked about during the pre-show meeting that somebody be assigned here. Anyone who is helping a mobility impaired patron out needs to be aware that these bathrooms, there's a women's on the other side. And really in an emergency it doesn't matter so much, but you would want to make sure that those bathrooms are safe for wheelchair patrons to wait out the storm because they are an inner room.
And it would be the responsibility of the usher who escorts any accessible needs patron to an area to report that?
Yes, exactly.
That they left
to report
someone.
to their manager who they, how many they left and where. So once you exit out that door, you're in Tower 3, and there may be some folks who are helping, and it's a mirror image on the other side, it's just Tower 2, but they would be helping, again, accessible folks could use these restrooms as well.
That's right.
To wait out the storm. The rest of the patrons are being guided at this point out those doors to the nice new sign and down the tower stairwell, where they will be meeting up with balcony folks and heading the rest of the way down to level 1.
And so really the mezzanine manager's assignment responsibilities kind of end back here, right where we are.
Yes.
With somebody here.
Yep.
And that takes care of the back half of the mezzanine.
That does. So when the weather emergency is called, there's an usher seated on either end of row L. There's a seat marked reserved for usher staff. So these ushers are going to stand up when it's called and ask patrons in this row, L, and everything forward to keep moving forward because these ushers have taken care of the back. So these patrons are all going to be asked to exit this way. The wing usher, who's stationed at the wing door, just needs to make sure nobody goes out that way because there's glass.
Lots of glass right there.
And keep encouraging people to do what we've said, which is come forward.
Which is so unusual.
Yes,
because they didn't come in this way.
Door they never use. They're going to go out the backstage exit. There is a sign, a little hard to see.
A little dark here right now.
A little dark, but there would need to be an usher, probably someone who was seated there, ready to open this door and encourage patrons to start going down these stairs. When you come out into the backstage stairwell, the balcony responsibility ends there. Mezzanine ushers need to be stationed. We do have some blue arrows, but the mezzanine ushers need to be stationed here. Very critical that we have somebody here. This is a door that actually leads into house right backstage. And the house right ushers are going to be taking care of this area, but we don't want any mezzanine patrons to ignore the sign and try to go in this way.
But that probably shouldn't happen because there should be level 1 patrons coming through the door joining us.
So we would need a mezzanine usher just to kind of remind people to keep heading down. And at this point, house right ushers take over.